Part 2, the part about the hurricane. Chapter 14, the storm on the Weather Channel. On the day I hear about Hurricane Susan, my father comes home from work at 5:43, which is an interesting time because the numbers are in reverse numerical order. Also, it's a good time because it means my father probably only had one drink at the Luck of the Irish after the J&R garage closed. For dinner, I have fixed frozen chicken legs from a box, rice, and milk. Rain has already eaten her My Pet dinner. My father and I sit down facing each other at the kitchen table. Rain squeezes herself under my chair. I look directly into my father's eyes and do not say a word about homonyms. "Why are you staring at me, Rose?" he asks. "A superstorm named Hurricane Susan is coming," I tell him. "Where did you hear this? From Weldon?" "From the weather forecaster on WMHT, 88.7 on your dial." My father shrugs. "It will be a storm of epic proportions," I add. "And what are these epic proportions?" I didn't hear the details, so I reply, "A superstorm that could become the storm of the century." My father shrugs again. "We live inland, Rose. Well, inland. A hurricane isn't going to affect us. Hurricanes stick to the coast. Sometimes they never even get to the coast. They turn around and head back out to sea." I think for a moment. 88.7 on your dial is our local station. "Yeah?" Our local station is talking about the superstorm. Sometimes my father grunts. It sounds like, "Ugh." He grunts now. "Ugh." And then he takes a swallow of milk and says, "All right, we'll look at the Weather Channel later." As soon as we finish dinner and I've washed the dishes, I turn on the television in the living room. Wow, so she cooks dinner, washes dishes. She's got a lot of responsibilities for a 5th grader. I tune in to the prime number channel of 83, the Weather Channel. 2 people are sitting at a desk. Their names are written on the screen, Monica Finley and Rex Caprizi. Monica and Rex have serious looks on their faces. Behind them is a map of the United States, and to the right, swirling around in the Atlantic Ocean, is a big red-colored ball that is supposed to be a picture of Hurricane Susan. It takes up a lot of the ocean. Monica and Rex are shuffling through papers and talking to each other, and Rex turns around and points to the swirling red ball. Then a face pops up in a little box on the left-hand side of the screen, and now Monica and Rex are talking to a third person whose name is Hammond Griffin. Hammond Griffin is a storm expert. A second map appears on the screen, and now there's so much going on that I can't follow it all. I put my fingers over my eyes and stick my thumbs in my ears, and this is when I hear faintly my father come into the room and say, "Rose, don't start. Just turn the TV off if it's bothering you." And then he adds, "What's the matter?" "You turn the TV off," I tell him, without moving my hands. I hear the TV go off. "Now what is the problem?" I uncover my eyes and unplug my ears. There was too much on the screen. I try to think of how to state my problem clearly. Excuse me. I actually thought when I read that part that, you know how sometimes when you're playing a video game and there's so much going on the screen and it starts glitching and like making that little shaking, and sometimes it might even get stuck? I was kind of wondering if maybe that's what, like her brain was doing, because there were so many things on the screen for her to absorb that it just kind of made her brain kind of glitch for a second. My father sighs. "What? 3 people and 2 maps and too much noise." "I'll watch the weather later when you're asleep," my father says at last, and then he asks, "Were you scared about the storm or did you just get confused?" "I wasn't scared," I say. "So what can we infer she was?" He frowns at me and then he grunts. "Ugh. Look, the storm won't get this far. The weather people just like to make a big fuss so everyone will watch their show. We might get a little wind and rain, that's all." "Okay. Why don't you go to bed now?" "Because it's too early. My routine calls for walking rain in 45 minutes, then changing into my pajamas, and after that going to bed." "Well, don't think about the storm." "Okay. I think I'll go out for a while." "Okay." I wonder where he's going. I bet you can figure it out.